and I don't want to get too narrow with, something that was like a online thing, but there was a big controversy at the beginning of the year, you may be aware of an attempt by some members of the internet world that some of whom identified as left, arguably, that they should, the members of the squad should, and progressives in general, I guess, in the House, should withhold their votes for Nancy Pelosi's leadership, and in return get a vote on Medicare for all, which would have surely lost at a minimum 113, like that's the number of people who signed on to co-sponsor it, to the remainder of the House, which is about 313, or no, 20, I guess. So it's 320. Had they done that, had they been successful, had they decided this is a good idea for whatever reason, and they had done that, and they had gotten their vote, and they lost their vote, and then that was the end of the strategy. Do you think, and let's assume that also dragged out for a couple of days, because it probably would have.
That's what they were calling for. Yeah. They
were calling to drag it out so that it would create some notice that there was going to be a vote on Medicare for all.
Which was January 4th and 5th, right?
Right. And hopefully they get it done by the 6th. But let's just eliminate that, because that would have been very hard to predict that was going to happen. Yeah. But what we do know would happen would be that it would push back the infrastructure bill, the COVID relief bill. Right? Because that came in very quickly a couple of weeks later, and it would have slowed the construction of that bill. Do you think that at that point that they would be gun shy to do this time? Like,
well, it depends on how it played out. But if they took heat for making them look like clowns, particularly while people are voting in Georgia for those 2 Senate races,
right?
All for a vote that then, got hammered. The next time they came back and were like, we need to organize and vote as a block, the stink of that would certainly be on the strategy. And you might be less likely to get that key addition, which was they're not centrist really, but the swing district Democrats who were like, no, that you guys are right. We do need to vote as a block on this.
Right.
Because then now it would be all tied up in these, in the last effort, which.
Right. There's something called keep your powder dry for when you really need it. When for when the whites of the eyes are there. And this is that moment, right? This is the make or break moment. If the progressives don't do this, and they still may not get, it may be nothing, but this was I think it seems to me, their place to take a stand. That has the opportunity to provide meaningful material difference to people's lives, as opposed to a stunt that was ostensibly to identify the enemies of Medicare for all, which was, I think we all know. Nancy Pelosi is one of the biggest ones. Folks, there's more of what you've just saw where that came from. That's if you hit the subscribe and like button. Thank you. Really, thank you.